Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that you're willing to be vulnerable because I know that so many people are going through what you're going through. And like we said, we hold in those things because we're like, oh, this isn't crazy. This isn't a crazy story, right? But it doesn't have to be. It's crazy to you. It's hard to you, right?
True.
So why don't we start with, where did you come from?
So I grew up in Calgary, born and pretty much raised. Moved out to Cochrane in grade 11. Oh, wow. So I've been out here for 1 or 2 days. I don't need to reveal how old I am exactly. We used to come out here to Cochrane and visit family members and go to the rodeo and spend weekends, and yeah, fell in love out here. So
you had good memories here. The rodeo.
It's
been going on for a long time.
It has. It's always been a fun time. It's one of my favorite events of the year.
Okay, so you had some good attachments here and you've lived here a while.
Yeah, good attachments. I finished high school, got married out here, raised my daughter out here.
That's amazing.
So that's pretty huge.
Yes. So tell me about, you had some hardships, and tell us about that, because I know you're not alone.
I got married when I was 20. I had my daughter when I was 23, and became divorced at 27. Okay. We were just young, and we went separate ways. And so raised my daughter.
How was that on you? Because getting divorced, did you have support? Did you?
I had my mom and dad. I had my aunt.
Yeah. Was she amazing? Thank goodness for all of these strong people who just come in and show up. Hey? No, that's amazing. And so she helped. Did she take your daughter sometimes, or she was just a support person?
Gosh, she did both.
Yeah.
She did. And sorry, I don't even know why I'm crying.
No, this is good. It's good. You need to get it out. Everyone needs a real story.
Raising my daughter, I had my mother-in-law, both took her. My daughter didn't know daycare. She
had such a supportive family.
She really did.
That's amazing. And so you got divorced and you were trying to do the juggle. What does that look like when you're trying to, I guess you had to work, and were you a single mom? You were?
Yeah. My daughter has an amazing support system. She's got a great dad, stepmom, her life is really set and complete with support. Mm-hmm. I worked at sometimes up to 5 jobs at once.
Wow.
To make ends meet.
That's crazy. I remember my mom raised 4 of us by herself as well. And as you become an adult and you look at your mom, or you're a mom now, you go how? You know what I mean? And she struggled so hard, just like that. It's like trying to raise 4 kids by yourself, and you had to have all these jobs. You must have been exhausted.
To be fair, you do what you have to do, right? And
good moms do.
It wasn't anything unique. You had to work. So I was really lucky in the fact that the way it would work with my daughter is she'd live a week on with me and a week off with her dad. So for that week off, when she was with her dad, I could easily pull in on a weekend over 30 hours of work. And then
That's
when she
so
was
exhausting.
And then when she was home for the weekend, she didn't have to see that side of it. There'd be some work, but not nearly the hours that I would pull when she was home.
You were also trying to protect her, and you got to be mom when your daughter was around because you worked your butt off when she wasn't. So that's...
Yeah. I mean, I worked a couple full-time jobs. So, I mean, I still worked, but I wish I would have been able to be there every day. But she, nighttime jobs or anything like that, she didn't have to live through, which was important to me.
Yeah.
So restarted that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Which was hard.
Really hard.
But like we all go through it. We all do hard things.
Yeah, but sometimes it's so easy to feel like it's so all-consuming in your own life, right? Like when you're trying to survive, it kind of just feels like you are by yourself. You know what I mean? Because in your mind, it doesn't matter if you're in your crowded room, you're still by yourself. And in your experiences, you still had to go navigate all of that a lot by yourself, right?
Yeah.
I think, I know that a lot of people, like there's a lot of single moms, my mother, like I said, being one, but you see it everywhere, trying to go through those same things. That's why it's important to have you here.
So, I mean, raised my daughter. We lived in an amazing apartment, which worked out perfect. For 2 girls, it was amazing. Yeah. Unlimited hot water, let's face facts.
Oh, yeah. That
awesome. Counts for everything.
That does. That's being grateful. Yep. I know that feeling.
And then once my daughter turned 18, she had looked at me and she's like, Mom, wherever you want to go, like I'm moving out. We discussed it. We made sure she was set. And then I actually went through bankruptcy and I let go of all this stuff that was just weighing me down.
Yeah.
And it was under some amazing advice from a few of my friends who were like,
yeah,
you could take this moment and be like,
starting over.
I can't do it anymore. Yeah. And be okay with that.
Yeah.
And to me, it was so liberating, terrifying.
Yeah.
But liberating.
Yeah. Huge weight.
Huge weight. I mean, unfortunately, when I bought the place where I raised my daughter, it was 6 months. So I sold my home, my marital home, 6 months before the market spiked.
Wow, that was good.
No, before it spiked, I
sold it.
Oh, it spiked
as...
So I sold my
I see.
home, my marital house.
Yeah.
And we walked away with like zero, not much each. And then I had to find a new place to live. Well, that took a little while. And a few years into it, I found they were offering like the 0 down mortgage, 50-year mortgage.
Yeah.
I got into an apartment in Cochrane 6 months before the market fell.
Wow.
So my apartment, when I got it, it was like $250,000.
Yeah.
And 6 months later, it was worth $180,000.
The timing on when you have to move. Isn't it crazy?
And realistically, like it never recovered. So you were swimming upstream every step of the way.
And so you're trying to work like 5 jobs and you just can't. Oh, it feels hopeless.
So when you claim bankruptcy, right? That's terrifying. Mm-hmm. And
what can happen when you claim? Like, what can you tell us some of like what can be scary about?
So I think for me, for me, it was terrifying to think that I was not fulfilling my responsibilities and payments, right? And you feel really guilty and really bad about like, I should be able to do this and I shouldn't have overextended myself. And when my friends really sat me down and said, like the reality is you've been swimming upstream for 12, 15 years.
Yeah.
Be okay to let go and be like, okay, we're done.
I mean, it's there for a reason if you need it.
Yes. So I chose to include my apartment at that time.
Yep.
I kept the vehicle that I had bought and kept making payments and making sure that was okay. And literally, honestly, walked away from it all and went through the process. The process is terrifying, but there's so many great counselors that you go through that really talk you through it and, you know, get you to feel not nearly as terrible as you could.
Yeah. So there's support when someone's in that position.
Yeah, there's a ton of like emotional support and financial like help and guidance. And so went through it, moved to Canmore, of all places.
Wow.
I was working in Canmore. I lived in Canmore. I had a really good friend reach out and say, like, get back on your feet, rent a bedroom from us in our basement, and just get back on your feet.
Yeah.
So I got to do
lovely.
that.
You've had so many good people in your life.
I have such a huge village of amazing people.
That's amazing. Yeah.
I don't think realistically in life you can get through it without truly appreciating the people who are there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I moved to Canmore. Within a few months, another good friend of mine said, "Hey, I have this family member. Their friend is trying to rent out an apartment in Canmore.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll work, but maybe check it out." And I met the least greedy person you can ever find in Canmore, because everybody wants to make huge amount of money in Canmore on rent.
Yes.
And
yes, we know. Every time I look at real estate, I'm like, not today. Still not today.
It hurts my heart.
Yeah.
It hurts. I met this amazing person who he had an apartment, a loft in a hotel that had a kitchen. It had washer and dryer. It was a multi-use hotel, so there was long-term residents, there was short-term residents, there was hotel guests. And so I went and checked out this beautiful loft, and I had a great discussion with him. I got to be honest about where I was. I was like, "Hey, I'm starting over. I'm rebuilding for a second time. If you do a credit check, I'm going to be really honest. It's going to come up really terrible.
Yeah.
And I need to be honest with you about that. I have limited funds. It's not like I make a ton of money. I think I could afford." I gave him a number, and it was like $1,200. I said, if it's $1,200, you know, like it would have to include every single thing, like all the utilities.
That's my max.
I can't.
Yeah.
And this kind soul just looked at me. He's like, "You know what? Let's make it $1,000. We don't need to stretch you, but that's fine. Let's make it $1,000.
There's just some really great people.
He's like, "It doesn't seem like you're gonna wreck my home, and that's what I want. Is I want somebody in my home who will protect it and treat it as though it's theirs." And I did. Like, it was. Are you kidding? I lived in a loft, in a hotel, on a second restart of my. Are you kidding me? Like,
You must have been so grateful.
I'm always grateful. Like, even for the challenges, I'm always grateful.
Yeah.
Because what lessons and what amazing opportunities do we get from every single challenge and heartbreaks and everything? Because the reality is, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. That's exactly right.
So I got to live in Canmore for like, it was 5 years. It was the 5 years of an amazing opportunity. At that time, during my time in Canmore, I had a lot of loss.
Okay.
We lost, actually, before I left for Canmore, we lost my father in 2016. And then it was just my mom and my little brother. I have an older brother who lives in Calgary, but in Cochrane, it was my mom and my little brother who lived here. And my mom was starting to have health challenges. And my brother actually had a whole bunch of health challenges and issues.
Yeah.
And so living out in Canmore was like this oasis. I mean, I still had to race in anytime something happened, but it was this oasis of...
Got to feel like this really special place. Yeah.
Yeah. So once I was out in Canmore, I was able to, you know, take those moments that you need to rebuild, restart. And unfortunately, my mom was starting to have really big health issues. And my brother, my little brother, he had post-traumatic brain disorder and concussion syndrome. So what that means is he was hell on wheels and was in so many different accidents in his life.
Really?
He's not a victim because he caused 99% of them.
So he was like a risky business guy.
He was a risk, like he was ready to go. He was it. Yeah.
So he had so many concussions. I've heard of this before. I guess I didn't know it was called that, but I do know some people that are kind of risky business, like your brother. And they were like, one more concussion and that could be it. So this must be that.
It can be. It can be.
So that caught up with him? Like
it did end up catching up with him. Yeah. And he passed.
Oh, wow.
But it's
How
really.
old was he? Can I ask?
2000. He would have been 36.
He's in ballpark. Wow.
Ish.
So young. And he had so many concussions. So that must have been super sad.
Yeah.
For your family.
The reality is, like, you equate it to, you see it a lot with football players, right? They get so many head injuries.
Or boxers.
Yep. Where it changes their personality to a huge degree. And unfortunately.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
It's like an accident. It's like a car accident. So you noticed his personality changing, did you?
Yeah. So he had multiple major accidents. Like, for example, he fell 12 stories off of a mountain. He flipped a car and it rolled several times with him in it. He was in a head-on collision. Like,
it's almost like it's like the cat that had 9 lives. You know?
He
like
honestly did. He had like many.
Wow. And then at 36.
36 he passed, yeah.
Did something significant happen at that time, or it was just kind of a build-up?
There was a few big significant pieces with that. Mm-hmm. He had, so this part should just be off the record, just so you're aware.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he died from suicide, so that part stays.
Well, even, and this part will be off the record too, but yeah, even my guy who's working for me today, I don't know if you watched his story on the projects yet, but it was same. Horrible accident, brain damage, and then he committed suicide. So we'll get back on track, but thank you for that. I'll make sure that he tweets that out.
So,
so your brother passed, and then
he passed. So he had been getting more and more aggressive with my mom. He was living with my mom in the basement. He wasn't doing well physically, mentally. His medicines and all the help he was trying to get, he couldn't, right?
Yeah.
They tried to get him into different treatment plans, but he was a marijuana user, and you couldn't use that for your pain in those treatments, so he couldn't live with the pain.
There's that saying, there was a movie I watched recently, and it was like this guy had been through so much in life, and finally he says to one of his family members, I just can't beat it. I just can't beat it. And that makes me think of, your brother's story.
Absolutely. He was stuck in this terrible cycle. So
you lost your brother and your
father. Yeah. So I lost my dad in 2016. My brother passed in 2021, 2022, 2021. I have to look.
A lot at once, or in a few years.
A lot at once, in sort of a short period of time, if you will. In that time, I had lost my favorite aunt that I started crying about.
Oh, yeah. You went through a lot in that time when you lived in Canmore.
Yes.
So you had kind of this beautiful place, but then you had a lot of loss in your life.
A lot of loss. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately, my little brother was getting more and more aggressive angry. I think he was using other substances. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Probably not. It could have just been
Yeah.
the effects from all his accidents.
Absolutely.
And we had to get him out of the house
Yeah.
that he was living in because it wasn't safe for Mom. I had to keep going in and rescuing her and bring her out to my place. My place was a loft. There is not bedrooms. There is a loft.
Yes. Yeah. Totally.
There's no...
You can't really take extras.
No. So she'd stay with me. And we reached out to a few different realtor friends. One realtor friend said, yeah, I can help your mom. We'll get her set. We'll sell the house.
Okay.
We'll evict your little brother. Get that dealt with. Just clear out the house. Be done with everything. Get her a restart. And literally that's what we did. We moved her into my place for a few months. At that time, she wasn't physically well either. She had fallen and broken her hip, so she was walking with a walker, and I lived in a loft, so I had multiple stairs, which wasn't ideal, but got her set up in my living room.
Yeah.
I ditched my couch, bought a hospital bed to make it look like it was almost like a futon or a day bed.
Yeah, totally.
So that she had a bed.
Yep.
There was a half bath down there, the kitchen, so she had everything she needed.
Yeah.
And yeah, we
Way to
dealt.
swoop in and help your mom. I mean, isn't that just like so real life? It's like one thing and then the next thing and then the next thing, and it's just on it goes, right? So you're helping your mom, and
Then the plan was always to get Mom into assisted living.
yeah.
Get into an apartment that you can function in. You have full access. You can move around. You're not stuck the way you are in Canmore. Like I lived on a hill. It wasn't ideal. And her memory had started declining. I think that was from all her pain meds. So trying to make sure that she was okay and in a safe space and in a good place.
Yeah.
She stayed with me for, I think we sold the house or we moved her out in March or May, and she moved out of my house or out of my apartment in September.
And she found a place, yeah.
Yeah, we found a place in Calgary. And in that time, that's when my little brother had passed away. So we were dealing with grief. We were dealing with the issues for him and dealing with, the burial, all hard stuff.
Sometimes you wonder how we can work. You know what I mean? Really. It's just, the reality for people is like sometimes it just feels like you are waiting for the next thing. And you really, like when you stop and think about, stories like these, which is like a lot of people, right? The truth is we take on so much. Like us human beings take on so much. It's like the feelings and the loss and the next loss and the jump into this and having to move. And it's like sometimes you do wonder, how in the world do we manage all of these things? That's why people are so stressed out.
It's true.
It's too much.
Yeah, it is. At that time, I was working for the town. So I took a leave of absence. I just couldn't do it all by taking care of my mom. And I mean, that was during COVID as well, some of the bigger heights of COVID. So it was working from home with my mom in my living room where I have to work.
Yeah, wow.
And her not fully understanding, like, hey, you can't be in the background. I'm in a meeting. You can't.
All of those crazy COVID things.
Like, what a wild time.
At least you can laugh about it now.
That we were in. It was terrifying. It was terrifying. That was part of COVID.
Yeah.
And then when my little brother passed and we got Mom moved into a facility, I honestly was grieving and still am.
Yes. That can take a very long time. I don't know if we ever stop grieving. Like we just grieve in different ways, right? And I think a lot of the times it comes in waves.
It's true. Actually, I was thinking about that today some of the greatest advice I got when I was going through it and getting counseling was my counselor said to me, you need to acknowledge this is like being in an ocean.
Yep.
You're going to hit with wave after wave.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's calm, but sometimes it comes rapidly.
Oh, you'll just be standing in the shower and it hits you, or I know, because I've lost my mother too. I know. It's just all of a sudden you're crying in the middle of Michael's. I've been there. Yeah. Yeah. I totally can relate to that. And I know, again, that's why we're having these conversations, because they're good to have. Because who doesn't deal with loss in their life? Who doesn't go through a lot of these things? And how alone that you can feel, how sad you can feel, and how you don't want to reach out and bother anyone. You know that feeling. It's always like, I don't want to be a pain. Everyone goes through all of this. And it's like, well, if people can't bear each other's burdens, then what are we here for?
True.
Right? So
True. You also don't want to be that burden that pushes somebody else over the edge.
we don't want to be. But, I think that's where you can have boundaries. And I think there's a difference between being a burden and having people who love you. Or I think that's one of the problems in the world is, heaven forbid, you go on social media and everything feels like people hate each other. And it shouldn't be the reality. The reality should be that we need more unity. We need to get closer to people to hear what's on the inside, because most of the time we're more alike than you think, right?
True. After my brother passed, I and my mom was settled. I discussed with a really good friend of mine who was getting their citizenship in another country based on family lineage. And I went, I wonder if any of my family lineage would let me get anything, citizenship. Well, at that time, and still to this day, I'm working on it, but at that time, Ireland was offering back to your great-grandparent lineage. If you could prove your great-grandparent lineage, you could apply for citizenship.
Really?
It's a process, don't get me wrong. It is a big
but
process.
how interesting is that?
So, naively,
Okay.
my friend and I made this plan. We're going to give it a year. We're going to start. We're going to make a plan. And as of this date, we're leaving the country. And I said, I think we should go to Ireland. We'll start there. We'll get my citizenship. You've already got yours to your country. Let's start. Life is so short.
You're starting to sound as risky as your brother. Do you think it runs in the family in a different way? But you're like, you know what? You've been through so much stuff. At some point, it does make you stronger, and it makes you see what you can do, right? And so you're like, hey, I have confidence. I think we can. Okay.
I think we can do this. So May the following year, I gave my notice to the town. I was working for the town of Canmore, and said as of, or April. I think I gave them 2 months notice. I gave tons of notice to make sure I didn't burn a bridge.
Yep.
And as of June, I'm out.
Okay.
I sold everything I owned. I went to Ireland with a backpack and a carry-on.
So at that time, what was your status? Was it like a working visa?
You can't. So that's where my naivete and just not being smart. I figured, because I had been interviewing with a few different companies in Ireland.
Okay.
And they were like, yeah, we'll keep you in mind. And I figured, you know what? You're not getting a job in Ireland because you're not there.
Okay.
No one's going to pay for them to relocate an admin. Admins are a dime a dozen.
Okay. So you thought once you get there.
Once I get there, I'll get a job.
Okay.
Naturally. Because what could it hurt?
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like I was in the right place. I had a really good friend who had been working abroad. She had a degree, I don't. And so she was much more successful. I was not. But
this is all part of your learning experience.
It's true. So June 5th, I left for Ireland. Wow. Sold everything, put my backpack on my back, and put my carry-on in, and that was it. Time to go.
Wow.
And it was so Amazing. Restart number 3.
Wow.
Time to go to Ireland.
I've always wanted to go to Ireland, girl.
Honestly,
it just looks so beautiful.
It's the prettiest place in the whole
How did
entire
you feel
world.
when you showed up there? You were like, this is it. It is so pretty, hey?
It is stunning. It is absolutely, and the people I feel are nicer than Canadians. They will argue with you on it. We've had some very spirited debates because they're like, no, Canadians are way nicer. I'm like, no, we're not. I've met Canadians. You guys seem very, very nice.
Okay, I have met people from Ireland and Scotland and all these places too, and oh my goodness, they're such a fun riot. Like, they're just fun. Could fun make sense?
They're fun, kind, inviting, accepting.
Yeah.
One of my good friends here, who I'd lived with when I first went through bankruptcy, her and her husband own a company in Canmore.
Yeah.
And they reached out to all their employees because they had a few foreign workers from Ireland working for them.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, she said to these lads, I have a friend, she's going to Ireland, I need her to have people there. Like, we need her to have a person. And
good idea.
And this lovely lad that was her employee said, oh, have her reach out to my good friend. Reached out to his good friend, never got a response. And I was like, ha ha ha, this is really funny. Like, I leave in a week. This person's not real. And then they're like, wait a second. So they spoke to their friend, said, you're going to get a call. Gave complete misinformation. There was like misinformation passed along that I was the daughter of the owner and I was like farthest thing from. And
it's like that telephone game.
It is.
Really. Like, you're like, who even am I after you guys are done with me?
But he arranged to pick me up at the airport in Ireland the day I arrived.
Okay.
Give me a safe space to stay for a night before I got to my other destination in another part of Ireland.
Okay.
Like, that's what I mean.
They just seem so, it's true. I've been at like a few hotels where they like come barging in and it's like, hey, everyone. They're so sweet.
They're out for a good crack. Like, they are gems. I actually met up with a friend who I didn't know in person. We had met on Facebook. We had been friends on Facebook for over 10 years. She had married an Irishman, moved to Ireland, and she helped me get established. Her and her husband helped me get established in Ireland. And it was,
all the amazing people that have showed up for you.
That's
what I'm saying though, is like that's why these conversations are good, because there are still, despite what the internet says, there are still really good-hearted, loving people. Really.
There are only amazing people. Yeah.
I love that for you. So you showed up, and this guy you didn't know, did he pick you up then?
He picked me up from the airport, took me around some of the areas near Dublin, took me to his home, and got to meet his family. They lived on a ranch, a bit of a ranch. They had some horses and other companies. He helped me get a train ticket down to or over to Sligo, where I was staying. I was staying in Sligo, which is like surfer town. So different than Cochrane, Alberta.
Yes.
When they asked, where do you want to live? I was like, I've never lived in a surfer town. Yes.
That just sounds so fun.
So much fun.
Relaxing. Hang loose, as one would say.
So much fun.
Yeah.
And so I was in Sligo trying to restart my life.
Wow. How did it go?
It went pretty well.
You were there for how long?
Just under a month.
Okay.
My mom had been moved. She had fallen before I left for Ireland, was in hospital. They told her she couldn't be in assisted living anymore. She had to be in full-term care because she had broken her other hip.
So then that's concerning, because you're moving to a different country and now you're like, oh, okay.
I'm leaving. There's not much I can do.
Yeah.
I have plans. I have tickets. My plan was to return in September. And my mom was in this full care facility. I'd call my aunt, one of her sisters, and say, hey, I just want to check in. my mom's cell phone had been lost in the hospital, so I couldn't even call her.
Of course.
What a mess.
Yeah.
And then we were, family members were moving her out of her assisted living, packing her stuff, and I was leaving.
Yes. And then I'm sure you felt guilty. And you're like, oh man, now what do I do?
I did feel guilty, and so many people, and part of it was like, so many people are like, what do you mean you don't have a job? You don't have, well, I may not have it because I'm not there, and I need to take this opportunity. Yeah.
You were just being brave.
I'm trying to show my daughter this is what life is. It's messy and hard, but it's not impossible.
And try new things. Take some risks. I'm not actually going to say that in front of my daughter. I'm just kidding.
Try.
It's so funny because we want to teach our kids to take risks, yet you're like, oh,
please just.
I'm always in that balance because I do want my daughter to travel and take risks and all of that, but you want them to know the real world, right? And so you were the girl who was going to just take the bull by the horns and
go.
Yeah.
And so I finally got a chance to call my mom. I called the facility she was staying in, but they only had one phone that all the residents would share.
Oh, wow.
And so I was on the phone. I was like, hi, it's her daughter. I'm just calling. I'm living in Ireland. Can I please speak to her? No. But I am calling from Ireland. Somebody else is on the phone. You'll have to call back. I was devastated. So then I called, I think the next day, and spoke to her. At that point, my mom had she had declined to the point where she had gone almost pretty much nonverbal.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, she was not in a good place, not in a good space. And so I had called her. She got really excited. You could hear her excitement just
through the phone. It's you. Oh. And then you feel so guilty because you're so far away. I know that feeling. I do. I was very far away from my mom when I moved too. Yeah. Yeah. No, I know that. I know.
And then the next day she died.
She died. Oh, man. I am so sorry. So you go far away, and then you're just trying to... That was the last time you got to talk to your mom. Well, I'm glad you got to talk to your mom.
Me too.
Wow. Yeah. No, I know that feeling. My mother was back in the States when she passed, and anything that happens to your family when you live far away, especially when you're the one who left. I'm the one who left, the one who got married and left countries. And when that happens, it's just it's a brutal feeling.
It is.
I'm so sorry you went through that. I know you're not the only one, too. So did you end up packing up?
Packed up right away. Changed my flights. And it was literally a few hours after I talked to her that she suddenly had septic pneumonia.
Really? So you turn around. How long have you been in Ireland?
Just over 20 days.
Wow. And back you came.
Back I came. With the issue being, you sold everything to make this new opportunity.
Nothing. Now you got your backpack again?
Now you're back in your backpack and a carry-on, and that's it. Make a life again.
It never ends, does it?
It doesn't. It doesn't at all.
And so you come back, and then you're planning a funeral.
Yeah. Then I come back, planning the funeral with my older brother, and my cousin had been named my mom's executor, her and her mom.
Yeah.
So my brother and I just did whatever we could to support
Yeah.
and be there really for each other.
And your brother was in Calgary.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. It's good that at least he was around too, and that was
He's amazing.
having a sibling to help during
Yes.
those times. Yeah. I'm really grateful for that myself. Yeah. And so how have things went on since then? You've stayed around? You didn't go
I've
back?
stayed around. It's really funny because my gran, who the Irish lineage is from, is still around. She'll be 95 in January. Amazing, strong woman. When I came back, I was sort of distraught, and I felt really bad. And, you know, you have family members, friends who think you've made the wrong decision.
Don't people always think we make the wrong decisions?
Like that you abandon people when you leave. And the reality is, I don't believe I'd be here if I didn't leave when I needed to.
Yeah.
I needed to go.
Yeah.
I had been strong for many years and in many situations.
Yeah.
And I needed that opportunity to figure out. Not that I really figured much out.
But that's
hanging out in Ireland, but
that's another lesson on people pleasing. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter whether you stay, whether you go. It doesn't matter what you do. Someone will have their opinion on your life.
I was so my gran, I asked her, you know, like, am I an awful person for leaving? And she went, no, I want you to go back. And that's on my dad's side of the family. All of them were like, you just need to go back.
Yeah.
Like, that's where you're meant to be, then that's where you'll go.
Wow.
So still working on getting my citizenship.
Okay.
It's I've been procrastinating like terribly, and I don't want to, but at the same time mentally I'm just not there yet.
Yeah. Yeah. And right now, how are you doing? You're just working and you're trying to
Working
every
and
day
trying.
at a time.
I had to restart again when it came, so you have to reaccumulate all your crap.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I had so many of my friends I'd give them some of my stuff to, or
Here, you can have
sold
it
them
back.
and they're like, do you want it back? And I was like, no, it feels like an anchor.
Oh.
Like I don't want any of that. I don't want to feel stuck again. So restarting one more time.
But then you need to live. So you do need the bowl back.
You do need certain items. You just restarted the thrift store. Vintage, let's just start all over again.
I know.
Restart.
I know.
Value Village is great.
But this is a good example of just how that's what real life does really look like, you know? And what would you say to our viewers who are consistently feeling like it's the next thing and it's the next thing and then it's the next thing? What would you say?
What were the good points in it? Because it's easy to get stuck in the sad and the devastating or the challenging or the negative, but there's always good points. I mean, through every single one of my restarts, I had my best friend by my side. And she and I, like, we refer to each other, she's very happily married, but I refer to her as my wife. And I mean, through every challenge, when I became single and lost, she was right there.
Yeah.
And I look at every single moment, she was there.
That's amazing. And not every time we fall down on our face or we feel like we failed at something, it's game over, right? And I think you're a good example of, and so many are, but this is a good example of how it can feel like you're in the pits. This is it. My marriage failed, or my family passed, or whatever. Like, this is, and it's like, no, it doesn't have to be, right? And sometimes it's our way of thinking, right? It's like we can start over. And I think that's what the Still Standing Project is about, is because in real life, it does seem to be like we're consistently having to fall down, get up again, figure out whether we're going to stay the victim or whether we're going to move to Ireland.
Whether we're going to just sell everything you own and move. I mean, it's worth it. It's fun.
Yeah.
And what a great story.
Yeah, no, and you're so brave. And is there anything else you'd like to share about where you are to now, or
You know, a lot of people think that my positivity is fake, and it's really not. I go to sleep every night with gratitude, with
Yeah.
with a meditation of like, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you for everything I have. Thank you for every challenge I've ever faced.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I would not be the person I am today.
Isn't that the truth? It truly is. Like we are a pot and we're being molded every time something happens, you know, someone passes, you know, something you feel like is a failure, and it's part of making you who you're supposed to be. And I think that that's something I've always had to remind myself, is that all of those hard things are like being molded into that beautiful flower pot that you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right?
And you don't know when it's going to bloom. So many of us get lost in those moments where it should be just easy. Life isn't meant to be easy. It's meant to be a challenge.
I think
how do
that's
you
so
appreciate
hard.
it?
Our human nature doesn't it just want comfort? Why wouldn't it? My human nature is just like, oh, it's just let up. Like, when is this going to let up? I just want a break. Like, I just want to feel comfort for a few weeks. You know what I mean? And doesn't seem to be like that is the way it's even supposed to be.
It's not meant to be.
We're in training.
Without those hardships, you can't appreciate the moments of easy. And they're not long moments. They're fleeting, but they are there.
Yeah. But it's true that, like, you know, our perspective does change everything. Because on any given day, majority of things are good. Right?
Absolutely.
The majority of things are really good. It's just that the negative things, don't they seem to weigh more? They do. It's like when something hurts, it's like, okay, well, that's what I'm going to think about, is that horrible thing that happened. And it's like, the truth is, the majority of things, we have so much to be grateful for. You know, even having a roof over our head, or being people who own shoes.
Having a safe space, being warm.
Having friends, having people who love you and help you when you're going through a hard time. And I would say that's one thing we can take away from your story too, is just knowing that, like, there are still people who care.
So many of them. There's so many of them. There's so many good, amazing people, and I get to know them, and I get to thank them, even in small ways, even in just written text. Hey, thanks for being amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's huge.
Well, I love that you came and shared this with me.
Thank
and
you.
with all of us, because this real stuff is really what helps us continue to move on when we're all going through really hard things. And if we're not right now, this is what I always say, we will be at another point. You know what I mean? So thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much.
I love your vulnerability.